I am very intrigued about this because I have heard about this VTuber's name from time to time in like drama videos, but I have no idea what kind of crime they have committed. And finally, we're going to learn about that. How VTubing's biggest grifter got bullied off the internet. The story of Elfin Sop? I do not know how to say it. But let's see. Let's see what happened here.
Ian Miles Chung is a, let's say, political commentator that truly got in the spotlight in the run-up to the 2024 US presidential election. You see, Ian would tweet daily. We're talking hundreds of tweets, all centered on the topic of this election. The guy was acting like his life was hanging in the balance if the wrong candidate.
Am I supposed to know who this is? Is this an important person?
Ended up winning. In fact, he was so passionate about this topic that it even reached the owner of the website, Elon Musk, who retweeted and replied to his posts constantly. Except, here's the thing, Ian wasn't even a United States citizen. He was Malaysian, and he lived in Malaysia. He didn't have a green card. Hell, he didn't even have a US tourist visa. In fact, most shocking in all this, the guy had never stepped foot on United States territory before. Not once in his life. And yet here he was, shamelessly quote tweeting things like multiculturalism will tear our country apart and saying, that's right, they need to get out of our country. Bro, what do you mean our? What?
What? Is this guy okay?
Or how about, I refuse to be governed by an Ugandan named Zohran Kwame Mamdani. Get out of my country. What do you mean your country? Excuse me. You see, the thing with Ian, if that's even his real name, is that he was the perfect example.
This must be a fake, right? This is just trolling. Can't be real. I hope.
Of a grifter. Someone who pretends to believe in something while not giving a shit about it, all to benefit directly
so that's
from
what
it, whether
grifter
financially
means.
or by other means. And he sure as hell did. Not only does he have 1.2 million followers, he also lives in the
United something
Arab
new,
Emirates,
guys.
a country that's significantly more expensive than his home country of Malaysia. So why am I telling you all this? Well, it's simple. For as long as so many of us can remember, a grifter only took on a few different forms, whether it be a politician or someone extremely rich, people of power. It was a known fact that these people changed their politics based on the highest bidder that was filling their pockets. But today we live in unprecedented times where just about anyone can become a grifter and benefit directly from it. It's not a privilege reserved for the people in power anymore. This means anyone can be a grifter.
It's
even
a free
if it
country.
Was a severely
Anyone can be a grifter.
Mess of a VTuber. You see, from the first day that Elfin Psyop started streaming, she targeted a very specific demographic. Males who would typically share the same ideologies you'd find on 4chan, who love edgy humor, dislike minorities, and most importantly, never receive female attention. All she had to do was post slurs and insults directed towards minorities every day, all while acting as edgy as possible. And through this, she was able to attain over 100,000 followers in less than 2 years. But that's not all. She was also able to make close to 6 figures in those 2 years by building very unhealthy relationships with those viewers who get no female attention. Like, for example, calling those viewers on Discord and starting to touch herself without them knowing as they were talking. And that's not even the worst thing she's done. I mean, she was literally posting audios of her gooning to her.
Wait, what? So this is just what I have to do to get money? Let's go!
General chat in her Discord server accessible by anyone, okay? But this, of course, had its massive benefits.
This is insane!
Was so successful in doing this. She was so unstoppable, too, invincible to all sorts of criticisms, that you even had bigger and more viral VTubers try to emulate her, try to copy her. That's how dangerous her influence had become. But that would all be until December 2025, when demons from her past would catch up to her and expose to us all that she's actually one of those minorities that she insulted daily. It would turn out that she is...
What? I swear. Honestly, humans scare me so much. I do not understand. I don't understand, guys. Why would you do this? Hatsune Miku? Oh, like what?
Pakistani. This is where her entire life falls apart as her Sims try to grapple with the fact that she is a minority. But
Like, what am I hearing with my extremely large ears? And what am I seeing with my eyeballs? I'm confused. Why would you do this? Fine.
of course, it doesn't end here, because she might have committed a pretty serious crime that made her eventually want to delete all her socials to scrub the proof. And
Not surprised.
yes, it involved a minor. This is one of the more uniquely disturbing videos.
Why is it always like this? Why is it always like this? Stay away from the minors. Stay away from the children. Please. Clout is hell of a drug. It must be. Because what? But it doesn't ever seem to be worth it. Does it?
I've ever made. And word of warning, throughout all of it, you'll lose hope in humanity multiple times.
Great.
So before we get started, I thought I'd get
I
the good
already
news
don't
out of the way
have
first.
any faith.
I was able to achieve a very cool goal of mine. Hiring my artist Weiwang full time. Yes, the same artist who makes
Oh, this is
illustrations of
cool.
me all the time and who also made my VTuber model. This was all thanks to your guys' support.
That's
and, of
awesome,
course,
Mujin.
Stacked.
Let's go.
It's a creator platform that aims to rival other sites like Patreon.
What the frick
But
is
instead of
rival?
forcing you to sign up to paid memberships in order to take a more attractive
Stacked.
percentage, they just take a flat 10%, nothing more, nothing less. And on the day of this video uploading, I'm launching my page with them. There are multiple tiers on my page, all made to give you the
What?
most value out of your money.
So Stacked is basically patron?
And they include 4 high-quality illustrations from Wayo every month, as well as 2 exclusive rambling videos from me where I just yap. So if you have insomnia, I think this is perfect for you. I'll be very active there, so if you're interested, the link's going to be in the description and the pinned comment. And now that the good news is finally out of the way, let's get to the bad news. The entire story of Elfin Psyop. Let's do this. Alright, so first off, what is a girl failure? This is something that Elfin Psyop would identify as
What
for the
is a girl
entirety of
failure?
her career.
Guys, am I a girl failure? Am I?
It's also one of the main reasons she was able to gain so much influence in such a short time. Well, if you Google this term, you'll get a definition saying a fictional girl or woman who is endearingly pathetic or inept. And
Endearingly pathetic? I don't want to be... No, I am not a girl failure. I'm a bunfish. Damn right. Damn right, Ducky. Ducky knows.
while yes, this is
I'm
true to some
simply
degree,
the
it barely
bunfish.
touches on the whole story. In fact, if I had to explain what a girl failure meant, then I would say it's nothing more than a modern and extremely bastardized version of a damsel in distress. Yes, the idea of a woman that finds herself in such a desperate and helpless situation and can only ever hope to get out of it thanks to the help of a man, preferably a white knight in shining armor. He would extend his hand to her, he would save her, and they would live their life happily ever after with the man
Can I
taking
skip
full
the knight
credit
and just
for
get the
woman's
horse?
happiness. At its essence, this is exactly what the term girl failure means. A woman who is such a loser, someone who can't take care of themselves, that's just waiting on a man that can fix her. But when it came to Elfin, she wasn't just a girl failure, she also happened to be someone who was very mentally ill and severely alcoholic. But don't take my word for it. This is how she would introduce herself to people who would find her account on Twitter. Hello, new people.
Well, I'm mentally ill.
I'm a loser.
But I'm not an alcoholic.
Girl failure. Whatever. Stinky elf federal agent. I love bugs and I've got bruises. I'm a very messy person, tired, and a massive alcoholic. My interests are conspiracy theories, astronomy, military history, and coding. I'm also extremely edgy, so you might see me post retarded rants while drunk. Wow, what a flattering introduction.
This sounds like someone I want to interact with.
Save her from her predicament. But other than
What? How tall was she? He wasn't tall at all. And she looks like a child.
her stinky elf federal agent. I love bugs and I've got bruises. I'm a very messy person, tired, and a massive alcoholic. My interests are conspiracy theories, astronomy, military history, and coding. I'm also extremely edgy, so you might see me post retarded rants while drunk. Wow, what a flattering introduction. I can totally see how she needs a white knight to save her from her predicament. But other than her making alcohol her entire personality and being a very clear example of what a pick-me girl is, you'd probably never guess that this person started streaming in February of 2024 and by mid-2025 had over 100,000 followers.
Damn!
So how the hell did she manage to
worked.
become so big in such a short amount of time while having an extremely loyal community that would practically die for her? Well, it involved a multitude of different factors. One of the first factors is that she was edgy, like extremely edgy. It's as if she was competing for the edgy Olympics and wanted first place. Like this right here was a tweet of someone saying they went to the mental hospital and the nurse laughed at them for attempting to leave this planet, right? What does Elfin do? She would quote tweet this and say, "Can I just say you deserve it if you fail at it? Like it ain't fucking hard to kill yourself, I'm sorry." How about this tweet? "Some black people shouldn't have
she
rights."
simply
Or
just-
this one.
She attracted all the keyboard warriors, basically, who wants to like write this kind of shit just because they're like mad at the world because they're such a losers, you know? So they have to spread hate instead of just, if you don't like anything, just fucking leave it be. Who cares? Especially if someone shares this story of trying to unalive themselves. And she's like, "Oh my God, you're such a sucker. He didn't even manage that." I can't. Oh my days. I see how she got so many people to follow her. And I understand why she got in trouble with a minor. I see it all.
Where she says,
I
"So I
see the
became a Nazi.
pattern.
Yeah, bitch, I'm the villain," showing a German pistol. She tried way too hard, and for the average person, this was extremely cringy. Like in this massive tweet with multiple paragraphs, she's basically saying, "Oh, you're saying the N-word hard R? You think it makes you based? Edgy cool? Say actual vile shit. I want more edginess." Like imagine lacking so much self-awareness that you think this is actually cool. This was as far back as November 2024, and look, it would have normally been ignored. She's not the first one to be this edgy on Twitter. Normally, right? Someone like Elfin would have never gained more than 10,000 followers. I would have never had to make a video about her to begin with. So what was really one of the main factors that put her on the map? What changed everything for her and her entire career? Well,
I mean, if she wanted to get a lot of fans quick and a lot of money quick by being a wild type of person, it worked, right? But to what price? What price? It always ends up in a shitstorm. And now she's like deleted everything, right?
Belly. That's right. And I wish I was making this up. I'm talking about her belly, her stomach, her abdomen. She would periodically post pictures of it on Twitter, and she would gain tens of thousands of likes. Like, for example, I remember this one because I saw it on my feed. It had the caption of "whatever, enjoy," and it was literally just her abdomen. Here's the high res. I mean, it's nothing special, right? So why did this post in particular gain 15,000 likes? Well, because she's a VTuber. I wish I was kidding. At this point, one could call this a kink, and the Twitter algorithm rewards it heavily. Like recently, I saw a picture of cleavage on my feed. It had over 20,000 likes. I was like, what makes this cleavage so fucking interesting? I went to that person's profile and I saw they had 200 followers, but get this, they had a VTuber profile picture. That's right, the appeal that someone who is anonymous, that is too shy to show their face, is sharing skin. Elfin loved the attention this brought her. So as I said, she would post this periodically, and every time she would gain so much attention on her profile. It's insane. But it doesn't simply end here. After the horny guys would follow her because she has a nice looking belly, they'd start seeing her other tweets, her girl failure tweets, where she would say things like, "I'm 20, I've never had a boyfriend, I'm a virgin, I've never kissed, fucked, or anything before. I hate myself so much, this is such a terrible situation." Look at this post, for example. "Legit just gooned and it looked exactly like this. I'm fucking literally her. I stink right now. I'm gonna kill myself. I'm so upset. I wish I fucking had real life friends. I should be out hanging out at a bar right now." This post, posted on December 14th,
Oh
2024,
my.
would have over 2.9 million views
Oh my.
and 85,000 likes, as
Oh my
well
days.
as 1,000 comments and 28,000 bookmarks. This is one of the most pathetic posts you can imagine, and there it is, going viral. She'd
I
post
mean,
something
that's
like
her
this
brand,
every
right?
single
Pathetic Gunnar girl failure brand.
day. And it all goes back to the whole damsel in distress phenomenon that I was talking about earlier. She was a VTuber who only had male interests. She was edgy, racist, and seen as based by some people, and she had a nice looking belly, which makes people's imaginations run wild. They think if it looks that good, then her face must look amazing too, the rest of her body as well. But the cherry on top is that even though she's all these things, she also happens to be a girl failure. She's someone who hates her life. She has no friends, she lives alone in the UK as a student, and the cherry on top was that she was a virgin, guys. She was pure. A witch could use her tears to make a potion, and she was just waiting for the right guy to fix her and wife her up. She understood this very well, but even though this was all a very elaborate plan to begin with, she still managed to take it to a very worrying next
Is this like
level.
the nun
And that would
thing
be
in
when
Gacha?
you would take the next
The
step
nun
to join
characters?
her Discord. Her Discord is exactly what you would expect. Elfin would spend a worrying amount of time on there. She was practically chronically online, and anyone could pretty much talk to her. Most conversations revolved around two things. The first one being about racism, and the second one being about her being a massive gooner.
Jesus
Here you can see
Christ,
someone
no.
saying,
Okay.
Elfin's been mostly quiet on the server today because she's embarrassed about how
I am so chronically offline that I wish I was more chronically online. I am so bad at using Discord, guys. I always forget about it. And I don't even mean to.
hard she was horny posting while drunk last night, to which Elfin replies, "We're not talking about that." A viewer would say, "You gonna call her a good girl, or is that just for you?" Elfin would say, "Me." And an amazing example right here, someone saying, "Elfin, do you choke yourself?" And Elfin replying with,
Oh,
"Yeah."
that reminds me, guys. I've been completely hyper fixated on a topic right now that I'm like, I'm not sleeping, I'm not eating, I'm not doing anything except reading and watching videos about getting your first puppy. That's all in my head right now. That's all I'm reading about. How to train puppies, how to train dogs, how to get them home safely, breeding, all the things, kennels, everything. And I'm kidding you guys. I am non-stop reading and watching this. This is like the first break I have from my hyperfixation in like a week. This is the first time I'm watching something else that doesn't have to do with dogs. I would say staying offline is good. Less brain rot, I think your brain. I'm just rotting in bed. Rotting in bed and watching pet videos about how to take care of puppies and kittens. That's my current hyperfixation that I can't get out of my head. So I can't sleep. I forget about eating because I am just so freaking ADHD fixation on puppies and kittens right now. First puppy. Yeah, I might get my first puppy this summer. And I'm so excited. That's why it is triggered even more strongly than it used to. Because I get hyperfixations all the time. And I like read for 48 hours about snakes or how baking worked back in the 1800s. And now it's puppies. And I am so freaking, and I can't get it out of my head. But this is kind of working. I am extremely embarrassed by watching what this girl is doing. So this is the first time in a long time where my hyperfixation can chill for a moment. Puppies and kittens good though. Yeah. I'm hella excited. I need to know everything. All the things. And oh my god, I kid you not, I have read so much about every goddamn freaking breeder and kennel in Sweden that I'm like, I know everything now. I could start my own.
Pretty much a server just to worship her and hope that she'll give you attention. Additionally, you'd see her say obscene things that she couldn't even post on Twitter.
Is it even,
like, for example, if I had to f a dog, it'd be a husky. I genuinely don't know like what to say about that, dude.
Oh, the timing of this. Please do not fuck dogs. All I'm saying.
Like, I genuinely, I mean, I'm speechless, but I wish things ended here. Elfin would take this parasocialism that she had built in her Discord server to a level that no other VTuber had ever taken it to, especially if they were the same size and influence.
I don't want to hear noises of her gooning. Mujin, please.
Career, she would post over 11 different audios of her literally gooning with a vibrator.
No.
And get this, she wouldn't like post them in a private channel with her top donators or whatever. No. She would post it in general, in the channel that anyone who joins the server.
That's a YouTube toss. Okay, good. We're safe. We're safe, guys.
Now look, I'd love for you to listen to this clip in particular.
Why would you say that, Mujin? No. Nobody wants to hear this.
Because it is so ridiculous, but you can literally hear a vibrator in the background, okay? So instead...
I wonder if she actually gooned or she's just faking it up. I think she's just doing all of this for show.
I'll
honestly.
Reenact the first 10 seconds for you because it is one of the most bizarre things I've ever heard in my entire life, and I mean that. She goes, in the most like lolly voice possible. Then she says, if there's any Slavic guy out there that wants to marry me and kill N-words hard R, I want to murder all N-words hard R. And I'm telling you, during the whole thing, you can hear a vibrator going bzzz in the background. Like, bro, what are we doing here? Like, what is my life?
How long is this video? It's over 1 hour, guys.
What the fuck is this?
And I am already scarred. My brain is scarred. My eyeballs are scarred. My ears are scarred. That's a toothbrush bet. Oh my god, who got famous from that toothbrush video? Was it? Oh my god, it's some she has blonde hair, which doesn't say a lot. And she has like a last name that I can never pronounce. Her brain is rotting. Turn it off quick. Mujin is directly talking to you. It kind of feels like it. Like, damn, boy. Damn, boy. I did not need to know that. That's actually some insane freaking shite. Like, why would you post that?
That already tells you a lot about who this person is.
Couldn't she get like an, what's it called? OF page? Wouldn't that be better?
Right, and of course, if you were to confront...
But I guess that's not edgy enough. I forgot her
about this, she'd say, oh, I don't remember. I was drunk. I'm an alcoholic. It's my entire personality. And now you might be making the mistake of thinking, Mujin, all right, I get it. I get why she had so many followers and I get why she made so much money. And I mean, buddy, do you really think I was going to let you go that easily? No, because now the fun begins. What do you do when you have an army of 100,000 military-aged men who willingly castrated their balls to worship you? Well,
middle-aged? There's no way. I would think she only had like minors.
Well, you start reaching deep into their pockets by suicide baiting. Tweets like this wouldn't be an uncommon find with Elfin, saying things like, genuinely want to kill myself, man. Or how about this post on her Discord saying, I just got charged like $1,800 about as tax. I'm literally exempt from paying that. Since she's a student in the UK, they just plainly took my money for my tuition and I have to pay rent soon, like a year's worth. I'm gonna actually fucking kill myself. She would then talk about how depressed she is and unmotivated and oh my god, I need to earn rent. Even though, as you might guess, none of this was actually true. She'd keep this lie going on other platforms too, saying... What
was that about poop? Why is she talking about poop?
I'm
gonna stream, I've been depressed, sorry, and unmotivated, blah, blah, blah. But freak this, I wish I was one of those super attractive models with sugar daddies, but they eat poop. Why would they eat poop? How does she know?
Actually fucking kill myself. She would then talk about how depressed she is and unmotivated and oh
I'm
my god, I need
Confucius.
to earn rent. Even though, as you might guess, none of this was actually true. She'd keep this lie going on other platforms too, saying, I'm getting kicked out my apartment soon if I don't pay for a whole year up front. Time to find a new house or go homeless, I guess. Streaming from under a bridge. Fuck. she'd have 101 replies, all begging to help and wishing her the best and being worried about her. Poor
What the
Elfin.
fuck?
Now get this, she'd say, does anyone want to buy my blanket? I used to hump every day for money. I need money for rent. Thanks. Now,
What? How does this work on people? Like, this is so mind-blowing to me that people actually like, oh no, I need to save this one. I need to give this person who write these kind of things on the internet money.
look, most people, if they tweet something like this, they'd be laughed at. Maybe people will think, oh, they're just joking. As I had mentioned already, Elfin had an army of 100,000 men who castrated themselves just to worship her. So what do you think actually happened?
And she has a nice tummy, worth all the dang money, isn't it?
She got offers. Someone would say, actual? Question mark? Offer? Question mark? Elfin would reply with $1,000 runes, to which someone would say, PayPal or Venmo. She had these guys wrapped around her finger, and she knew that. She'd somehow always end up being short on money no matter how much people donated, and at some point would even open commissions. Yeah, well, it turned out that her commissions were her just finding a Japanese artist, stealing their art, and then adding small modifications and making it her own. But
no way. No freaking way.
her fans didn't care. Listen, she was a girl failure. She wasn't perfect. Yes, she did some weird things, but don't worry. They'll be the one to fix her. So
I'm
chill.
so worried.
Elfin had essentially done what no other edgy VTuber could have ever hoped to achieve. She said some of the most vile, racist shit known to mankind, all while having a massive army of simps supporting her. God, I mean, she must have felt invincible, like she could do anything, like she was untouchable, and to be honest, she was. But that was, of course, until her entire world crumbled right before her very eyes.
Yeah, it never ends well, does it? Why would you buy a goddamn crusty coon blanket? I mean, people buy used panties. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't freaking know.
All due to someone she thought.
And Ducky, remember, you said you would buy my pond water. Not that I have gooned in my pond water, but I'm just saying.
Could trust. On December 4th, 2024, I'd release a video titled How This Entitled VTuber Lost Her Career Overnight.
Damn,
talk about Gunpei, an extremely edgy VTuber that had 1/10 of the audience Elfin Psyop has. You see, someone made a fan-made plushie of her and wanted to sell it. She had a complete crash out and started being racist.
Is this the same? No, this is someone else, right? This is not the same name. Gunpei, yeah.
The entire VTuber community rallied against her, and instead of apologizing, she doubled, tripled, then quadrupled down. It was very embarrassing and humiliating just for about anyone who had self-awareness. Now, after my video would come out, some people would take it upon themselves to investigate her further. What they'd end up finding is a very, and I mean very, parasocial community. You couldn't even join her Discord server if there was any doubt that you were a woman. Gunpei would immediately ban you and say that she doesn't want any other man in her server to give attention to any other woman but herself. She essentially acted as...
She banned women from her Discord? Holy!
Everyone's girlfriend, but it went way beyond that. If you sent her a picture of...
Why can't she be a girl's girlfriend as well then? Hello?
Of your sausage, yes, your straight up genitalia in DMs, instead of blocking you like 99.99% of women, she would instead give it a rating. She'd compliment it. She'd write a paragraph about it. Yeah, trust me, I was shocked too. Anyone could essentially...
He basically did penis reviews for the guys in her Discord. Is that what I'm hearing? Is that what? Why don't these people just have a freaking OnlyFans page? What? I'm scared. I'm scared, guys.
DM her anything, and she was chronically online in her Discord. This is how she was able to get so many...
I'm hearing that a lot of these weird people are chronically online on Discord, so I'm feeling a bit better at being absolutely useless when it comes to Discord. I am so bad at using my Discord.
Different gifts and so much money from her community. I know this already sounded familiar to you when it came to Elfin, but it went deeper than that. Gunpei had another account by the name of Zuba. She used to post normal things on there, but then one day posted an image of her in a bikini, specifically showcasing, her belly. That tweet would get over
penis review on the Discord right now, guys.
Likes.
Let's
and
go.
That's when she would decide to make
and if you're not
VTuber knowing she
if
can
you're
take
not
full
a penis haver,
and she did. She was
then I can rate your tummy, I
racist,
suppose.
My video coming out, nothing affected her at all. But her career still somehow ended. You know why? Well, it turned out she had
What's her
a
Discord for
boyfriend.
research
When you tell your
purposes?
community that you're their collective girlfriend, and it turns out you had a boyfriend behind the scenes,
Oh.
you lose all your fans.
Well,
It's
exclamation
just that simple. When
mark.
this was revealed, she would
Cumber
scrub her YouTube
cord.
channel, delete her Discord server,
Then you'll get
and
it.
deactivate her Twitter account. She would briefly reactivate it later and sell her entire model and assets for around $2,200. It would somehow
Yes,
get bought by a viewer
if anyone
of mine.
think it
I
wasn't
hope
a
he's enjoying
joke,
the model,
it is a
and
joke.
That was that. It wasn't
I was
her
joking.
racism. It wasn't her
Don't send
weird
me
attitude.
pictures.
It wasn't her being an unlikable person.
I'll
that
be
canceled
sad
her.
and
It
scared.
was simply her having a boyfriend. When you're parasocial, you're invincible unless you're lying to your community. That's the one taboo rule you can't break. What's really funny is that she would go as far
The
as
only
trying
thing
to
you're allowed
reinvent herself,
allowed to send
creating a
me
new
picture-wise
VTuber identity in May
is
of 2025.
of your
And in
pets
just the span of like a couple
in
of
my
months,
Discord
people
server,
would
and not
discover that there was a
privately.
lot of similarities between Gunpei and this new Mirio Maki. On July 8th, she would post an explanation apologizing for her past behavior, and she hasn't posted or streamed since then. Now, you would think that since her and Elfin shared so many similarities, back when her controversy was happening, Elfin would have maybe came in and defended her. I mean, Gunpei wasn't even saying half the edgy shit that Elfin said on her feed,
We're
right?
still
come
talking
on.
about the
Surprisingly,
Gunpei,
though, okay,
the
it's not really a
penis
surprise.
reviewer.
Elfin would join the dogpiling, saying, "Oh my god, my based racist Chuba, ooh, it's only funny when they say shit unintentionally and not in an active effort to harm/insult someone. When did we lose sight of what's actually funny?" So look, this tweet makes absolutely zero fucking sense, okay? This is just Elfin being
If I named my thing, would it be classed as a pet? Hell no. Listen, I have names for my boobas too. Doesn't mean I see them as pets. That would be odd. But in all honesty, Discord is a really disgusting place right now. Yeah, I've heard a lot about them. It wasn't so long ago when there were like a lot of human puppies corn on that app, and I was like, what? I've ever used Discord. The most active I've been on Discord was when I played Black Desert Online and had to actually, be in voice for Node Wars and stuff. But that's all. I only use it for gaming.
being the typical pick-me, seeing that someone's being hated, and trying to profit off of it. How? Well, it's simple. Gunpei had a lot of parasocial fans, so Elfin clearly wanted some to come to her community instead. But above all, she wanted you to know that she wasn't a grifter, okay? She was a real girl failure. She was somehow taking the moral high ground. I'm not fake like you, okay? I'm authentic. I'm as real as it gets, and I know what I'm doing. And that's the attitude she always took when she saw someone doing something similar to her and getting—
This feels like this is not possible to happen in our world. This feels like I'm watching some otherworldly drama, and I can't really comprehend that people like this actually exist. Because it's like I just don't understand. I can't comprehend it. It's very odd to me.
For getting into trouble. What's deeply ironic here, though, okay, is that barely a few months after she was taking
This sounds like a South Park episode. Yes, Ducky. That's actually a perfect description of this. It truly sounds like I'm watching some kind of South Park episode, and it's all just like, I don't know, supposed to be some kind of edgy, fun episode, and it's not actually real. But then the horror is that it is real. And my brain kind of don't want to comprehend that.
moral high ground on Gunpei, someone would come out with a 51-page Google Doc about her on April 18th,
Average bird enjoyer.
2025. His name was Average Bird Enjoyer. And this was significant because he was watching her from the beginning back in 2024, and he was one of her lead mods. He was always there for her, as well as always in her chat.
Oh my God.
On a scheduled stream on YouTube, there was a pinned message saying, Elf is currently dead asleep. Potentially no stream today. We'll move to tomorrow if that's the case. The stream was still running as she was doing some sort of a donathon. It's kind of like a subathon, but it involves direct money.
It was actually
her
some
like
sort
of a Discord ring on the stream.
mod.
An Average Bird Enjoyer would come in and say, that was me calling her to see if she'd wake up, lol. So this was someone who, as far as the community was concerned, was
51-page
close
Google
to-
Doc. Listen. Have you seen Cinder's Google Doc? Like, there we can talk about an excessive amount of pages, because holy, 51 is still like not even close to Cinder's doc. Oh my days. Docky Wocky, scary.
In fact, the guy wasn't just close, okay? He was borderline insane. At some point, Elfin would be streaming and she had a donation goal for PC funds set at $100. Average Bird Enjoyer would come in and donate in one payment $10,000.
Excuse
Probably,
me?
and-
Average bird enjoyer? Are you a friggin' rich person? Elfin, if I move to the UK tomorrow, how much do I have to do to convince you to have me as your caretaker? No. No, average bird enjoyer needs to stay far away
Most
from me.
likely because he thought he could be the one to
I'm scared.
fix her. But here's the deal. He wasn't the only one. The document that Average Bird Enjoyer wrote was 51 pages long, and it involved 6 people total, including himself. But are we actually going to bother diving deep into this mess?
No.
Hell no.
Oh,
Honestly,
thank
it's
God.
so
Oh,
pathetic,
thank
it's not
God.
even worth doing that.
I was thinking, like, why would we read a document from a person who write those kind of things? It doesn't seem legit. I can't even call that peak unemployment. No.
Sum it up for you. In a nutshell.
I can give you 10. Guys, you don't have to give me money. No. It's all just a joke. Save your money, spend it on yourself.
Average Bird Enjoyer had spent over $50,000 on Elfin in the span of like less than a year. Listen, I have to specify this. He found her when she had less than 500 followers, probably 50 viewers. She was not a big streamer by any means. But Average Bird Enjoyer went all out thinking that he'll genuinely be able to like be Elfin's partner, okay? That they're gonna date. He thought they were exclusive to begin with.
So
He
scary.
sent her $10,000 on that stream. He hired her an editor. He got her a manager. He was willing to pay for her new VTuber model. They met up IRL and he took her to multiple Michelin star restaurants. Dude blew a fucking apartment's down payment on...
Is he rich? Or is he just that obsessed? What?
this girl failure. But he was the only guy who actually had to spend this much money. The other 5 guys spent almost nothing. And they got the same treatment that he got. What was that treatment, you might ask? Well, other than meeting up with her IRL and doing stuff, yeah, she's not a virgin. I mean, who could have ever guessed that? It all would start with them messaging her, being in her Discord, right? Messaging her, and her reciprocating. She would then get in calls with them, okay? listen, she would then get in calls with them. And as they were talking, right? They could be talking about their day, a game they're playing, whatever. She would start to flick her fucking bean, bro. She would start gooning right then and there to their voice. No warning, no nothing. Dude. And then after she'd be done, she'd send them explicit pictures. These guys would of course be shocked. What the hell is happening? And then the next day when they ask her about it, she'd say, oh, I don't remember anything. I was severely drunk. Please delete all my pictures. However, she'd keep doing it over and over and over. And each of these guys thought that she was being exclusive just with them when she was doing this with 6 people at the same.
But she's just drunk, guys. She doesn't remember that she did this with multiple people. I don't understand. What is this? What are we watching, guys? This is, oh, it can't be real. I swear to God, fiction has nothing on real life.
And as I said, she'd meet up with them, she'd do things with them, God knows what. But overall, she wasn't this pure virgin girl failure she was making herself out to be. That's pretty much the 51 pages in a nutshell. It also involved incredible DMs like this, with Elfin saying, "Birdie to you, birdie igu, if you just touch my nose."
Oh,
my
she's so
puppy,
drunk
make
she
me
can't
fub.
type.
Cunt,
Wah, wah, wah,
teal it
wah.
faster, winku, you know, I'm gins what good do. Average bird enjoyer would then say, translated, Elfin telling me if I touched her pussy, she'd come real fast. What am I doing with my life? Anyway, when this document came out, Elfin was furious. She was watching
at least
her
she says she's an alcoholic. If it's true or not,
entire world crumble around her. She saw what happened with Gunpei and did not want the same to happen to her. She had been parasocial her entire career. Her entire Discord was obsessed with her. She can't have this leak. And yet it did. So she would tweet this out almost immediately saying, "I see shit like this and know for a fact that these people barely do any research and just love saying shit. I had phone sex for a couple of days or weeks with some guys." Okay, wait, hold the phone. Days or weeks?
proud
That's
alcoholic
a
too.
huge range.
Yeah, she's kind of using the alcoholic thing as her shield, and that makes no sense. So just because she does that, I'm not sure if it's even real. And that makes it even more sad.
Anyway, I told all of them day one I was not into dating, and they agreed with me. Most of them don't even care about the situation. They went out of their way to message me just to say how stupid this drama was. Only Bird and another person who repeatedly tried to threaten and dox me were emotional homosexuals. Bird not only went around trying to poison my community, he acted...
So now they're homosexuals. How does that make sense? Like, I'm 100% sure she's not an alcoholic. Okay, I'm not 100% sure. I'm being hyperbolic, but you know. And she's just using it to weaponize or like protect herself. Because she has this ailment that is horrendous. And she's like, oh, if I just use this, then people will excuse my weird as freaking behavior.
Actively shared information about me to other server members in an attempt to make them join his side. He went to all my mods and all my close friends in the server. People saying, "Oh my god, there's no evidence of Bird being a bad guy." First of all, 51-page expose about someone you apparently cared about as a friend, his words. If you really wanted to help me to stop my pattern of behavior, you could discuss it with me like everything else. Just to cut her off here, something else that was mentioned in those 51 pages was how when every single one of these guys found out what she was doing and confronted her, she would lash out. She'd get very angry and she wouldn't want to listen to a single thing they had to say, especially when they had something to say about alcohol, okay? Anyway, let's continue. But no, I only talked to Bird that way for a month. I crave validation from men. I admit I wanted compliments and I wanted attention, but he acted as if he was my dad. His friend would try to wingman and tell me I should meet Bird and just be with him. He could make my life so much better, and I straight up told him I wasn't into Bird. I have screenshots and evidence. Also, when I first started streaming and Bird came along, I was 19 at the time, extremely new to VTubing, and having this much attention.
Oh my god.
He taught me everything about VTubing and keeping me...
I had such a like real life a moment right now where I was sitting here and was like, why am I watching this? Like, why am I letting my brain take this information in? Why?
She would then talk about the point of women not taking accountability, saying, "Motherfucker, all I've done is say I'm not a victim. I keep fucking saying I was wrong
Where's
too.
my
Why are you
kitty?
just
I need
this?
emotional
Oh my God, she cheated.
support."
On who? I was dating no one at the time. I never dated any of them.
We
I have
love
screenshots
drama.
of some of the guys
Yeah,
saying
we
they knew what it was. He
do.
was not
Gosh
dating.
darn it.
We had phones gooning on call. She would then make another tweet, quoting something.
I just didn't think it would be this level of growth.
That many people were saying, "Oh my god, these poor lonely men."
tea.
While she replied,
It's
"While they're
piping
25
hot
plus
tea.
adults, if a 19-year-old has to be held accountable for whatever she's done, you can't possibly in good faith ignore the horrible shit these men do just because lonely. I literally live alone and talk to a total of 0 people IRL. I'm fucking lonely." And look at this very sad image she posted. Oh my god, it's her crying. But guys, don't worry. As she said in her own words, she is not acting like a victim. But look, to be completely impartial here, these guys were really weird, especially Average Bird and Joyer. Look, if you go and donate $10,000 in cash right now to a top streamer, they'll fucking block you because they know that you can't be donating this much money without ulterior motives. This document was made on purpose to destroy her career, isolate her, and further take advantage of her by manipulating her as she was all alone.
I mean, everyone in this little community, whatever we should call it, the pest show, seems to be awful people. Because they're following her because she says horrendous shit and she offers up gooner things freely, right? And I don't think that attracts the bestest of people, like usually, right?
The document will also reveal that she's always been known as being a certain person on 4chan, someone who has had a history of sending nudes and being explicit. They'd even go as far as saying that while she was talking to these 6 different guys, she had an IRL boyfriend. It was an attempt at totally annihilating her entire reputation. At the same time, though, she refused to take any accountability. She'd say that she was groomed.
Is that her model?
You were 19, and you had continued by that point posting gooning audios on your general chat in Discord. What do you think this is? The objective conclusion.
Damn, I should donate $1 million to Zero.
Sucked ass.
Cumber coins,
no, Elfin wanted to
as
be
they called on Twitch.
as the victim. And even though normally she should have had her career.
I wish there were one of those things for YouTube as well. The YouTube chat can collect Cumber coins. Gosh darn it, YouTube. Step up your game.
By this point, she should have been completely abandoned by her community. The opposite ended up happening. She again had defied all odds, and let me show you exactly why. Rima Evenstar is a VTuber who makes some very detailed video essays about the VTuber community. A couple months after this document had dropped, she would release the video titled "She Played Her Fanbase Like a Dating Sim, The Elfin Psyop Situation," garnering over 100,000 views. In this video, she would constantly be referring to Elfin as a menhera, a term for a character who is emotionally unstable and in poor mental health. They are very emotionally fragile and experience extreme mental ups and downs and mood swings, which can make them a bit difficult to be around. They may have an unhealthy dependence on love or their partner, be a troublesome person who displays unexpected aggression and tries to dominate others, be easily hurt by the smallest of words, or have suicidal thoughts and think the world would be better off without them. And man, I don't know about you, but this perfectly describes Elfin Psyop so far, right? But Elfin was outraged. She despised that video and hated Rima to the point where she added her on Twitter and said, "Rima Evenstar, I don't know why you like to spread genuinely dog shit and simply false rhetoric so easily. Maybe it's because you're a drama VTuber by name, but it's just bullshit to spread false things without confirmation. Firstly, when you made the drama video on me, you got a lot of facts wrong and didn't contact me to confirm details either. Nice journalism. Now you're spreading shit about me suicide bait?
Guys.
To you? I'm sorry, what? I think you making a drama video on me."
I'm diagnosed with some shit, Ryan. And one of the diagnoses I got, my freaking doctor literally described it as the Timo or wish version of bipolar. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, it's not as extreme as bipolar. So you're like, it's like controlled bipolarism. I'm like, okay. I guess that's good. That's good. Thanks.
During a time I was constantly drunk and not in a stable mental state would obviously fuck me up. Like you call me menhera all the time and don't expect me to somehow crash out? I was still relatively civil and only DM'd you about my issues with your video hoping to at least get facts straight.
Hello, buff cowboy hellhound demon. Bipolar orange, hello fire warlord.
Random people messaging you.
Life has only 2 skill trees that you can spec on. It's either autism or ADHD. That's so true. That's so true.
Rather than the person at the center of the situation is crazy.
Well, thank you for the comment.
Journalists enough. In fact, this got so bad that when Rima posted the tweet announcing the video, it would get totally brigaded by Elfin's community. 102 replies, and all of them filled with insults, slurs.
Oh, people scared me so much.
Assassinate Rima, saying, "Wow."
Also, we need a new Twitter. I'm kind of hating using X lately because X is just making such shite freaking things constantly. Like with this AI button thing for art, like hello, why did they add that? But it's like all freaking sites suck. Yeah, like Blue Sky is barely better. But I'm guessing that it gives like people a false sense of security because they do not have the freaking AI button that can ruin everyone, can like fix or not fix, destroy people's art and make it into something completely different. So on, so on. But it's like, it's everywhere nowadays. Where are you supposed to go? Instagram? Do people even use Instagram these days?
Watch your content, but not anymore. Wow, you're a terrible journalist. Wow, you suck at what you do, etc., etc. That's simply because Elfin had replied to this post and ratioed Rima, doubling her likes, simply saying that she is not a femcel. But this still doesn't explain how she was able to survive a Google Doc like this. This doesn't explain why she didn't end up like Gunpie. What happened exactly? Well, here's what her diehard fans had to say.
Take your pick, AI slap button or no uses, basically.
It perfectly encapsulates why she still had a very strong community that kept...
Maybe the best social media is going outside. Gross. I can't believe you just said that, Ducky. Ew. We do not go outside. We do not touch grass. That's against the rules. You should know this.
Growing. Look at this idiot. Hey, I just like to say that I'm naive and emotionally vulnerable.
I will never use Facebook.
And would be easily groomed. DM me sometime. What about this dumbass? I'd be honored to be one of your toys. Crazy they're spinning it as a forced or bad thing. So these men were so irrevocably castrated that they realized, hey, I don't like this woman because she's a virgin. No. I like her because she's a girl failure. And
why, Sarah? I still use Facebook.
A chance. If she did it with 6
Never
different
liked
guys at the same
Facebook,
time,
not my thing.
Stopping me from DMing her and finding her in a call gooning with me? If anything, Average Bird Enjoyer's Google document backfired tremendously. It made Elfin Psyop seem way more reachable to the average viewer than they thought. So their whole fantasy, or should I say delusion, of trying to fix her, wifing her up, impregnating her, and prolonging the white race wasn't so far off.
We only do male prego here, not woman prego. Ew.
At this point, Elfin kept gaining followers, kept getting viral tweets, her community kept growing, she was making more money, and her viewership was doing better than ever.
That reminds me, Facebook is actually kind of dying. The Messenger app barely works now, and the PC app is fully shut down. Really? Damn. I don't know. Who even uses Facebook? Is it still good for, like, companies and stuff? I don't know.
She had reached over 100,000 followers, something very impressive, especially for a VTuber, and by this point we could easily say that she was becoming very dangerous, because in VTubing there are so many desperate people trying to make a name for themselves.
Welcome in, welcome in.
What works and try to copy it.
And happy Friday, guys. We are actually looking at real life brain rot. So you will be warned. My brain is already hurting. And we aren't even... Oh my god, we're not even halfway through. Oh my god. Cuddles the kitty in Sarah's arms. Oh, it's Cumbercat. Isn't he adorable? We love Cumbercat here. Here, have a cleanser. Look at this. Look at this amazing face. He's the most amazing boy. Cleanser, guys, cleanser. Be happy, stay awesome. Don't think about scary racist gooners on Twitter. The face a bit higher is cuter though. Really? I don't think so. Well, time to grab some snacks and drink. Gonna be a long one, for reals. Oh, I needed a pause, guys. This is so much to take in. Oh! Hello? How's it hanging? What is in your bookmarks? Do you dare me to tell what you have bookmarked on Twitter? No, not my bookmarks. Guys, you need to post all your bookmarks. I need to review them, okay? Bookmark review. Run! Oh, thanks. That cute smug look. Yeah, he always looks so smug. I love him. Clear your history. Quick, guys, quick. It's all redacted. I have over 9K bookmarks. Oh my god, Silver. Oh my days. Should I be worried?
And since things were going so well with Elfin, since she was totally invincible to any criticism or controversy, someone would end up noticing how well she was doing and try to copy her, even though they had way more followers and way more influence. Her and Elfin would end up becoming friends, and then eventually
delete all the good material. God damn it!
Is a French rat VTuber who
so
used
no
to stream
bookmark review, huh?
in French. Around 2024, she would start streaming more in English, and at some point, one clip from her stream would go mega viral.
Before I die, delete my browser history. Actually, me and my friends talked about this for not so long ago. We were like, if any one of us dies, we have to promise each other to be the first one to go and grab the computer and just clean it out. And take the Gooner box with Gooner things in it. Because we do not want the family to find that shite. And I was like, yeah, that's legit. That's freaking legit. Let's go.
A good chance you saw this already.
In my will, my PC is to be burned.
Watch.
That's so true.
Their name. So it is broccoli, who is fucking dumb. Look. No brain cell. No brain, nothing. After
broccoli.
Fruby, who is one of my cutest rats too. Look. She's a Rex girl. She got curly hair. She's really cute. It's Bean. Bean is my only boy.
I love rats. I had a lot of rats growing up. But it's just the heartbreak when they die. Because they don't live long, guys. They are so prone to freaking diseases. And their lifespan is so short. That they get old and ill so quick. It's not worth it. I was just crying all the time.
But you don't have a cocoon yet.
Alright, so you get the point. French girl talking about her rats, very cute, very adorable. Yeah, well, it would go mega viral. 384,000 likes on Instagram, and guys, when it came to Twitter, 12 points.
Real homies do that for each other. Damn right. Damn right. They take away all the questionable stuff so the family don't need to experience that.
7 million views.
Goebbels would beg to differ. Yeah, that was actually a thing. Because we had rats at first. Then we changed to something, I don't know the English word for it, but it's called degus in Swedish. And they live way longer and are way healthier than those we had for many, many years. But just like I love rats, but they live for so short. It's like I refuse to get a dog, like a Grand Danois, even though like those are my favorite kind of dogs. But the big doggies, they don't live for long. And I can't handle that.
134,000 likes. It was practically on everyone's feed, and everyone was talking about it. If you told someone, hey, did you see the French rat girl? They'd say, yes, I saw it on my feed. It went mega viral. I'm not understating this. She would then reply to this saying, hi, I'm Riri, a rat girl VTuber from France. You can follow me on Twitch or join my Discord if you want, link in bio, but be warned, I'm the most hated VTuber of all France.
Why?
And guys, she was not kidding. When the French community saw her going viral, they were livid. They saw how viral she was going with the English-speaking community, and they did their best to show them who she truly was. This person, for example, would say, maybe because you're a lolicon and you think Hitler is cool and you're overly annoying, you force your voice to sound like a kid, your response to saying the N-word is I hate everyone equally, look at yourself stuttering in your own f***ass tweet. Okay, so very brief lore dump on the...
Oh my god, look at you stuttering in your own ass freak tweet. No, that's... Damn, this person is gangsta.
This bitch, because there's no information in English on her. She used to be known as Riri Meow, and her whole content revolved around porn. still does, but it was worse then. She was retweeting lollyporn and had a Discord server with tons of minors, etc, etc. They'd also link some edgy tweets she made in the past, like top 5 reasons racism is bad, and then the next picture is thanks for watching, so implying that racism isn't bad. Here's the deal though. Riri's defense on Twitter would be—
Oh my god. There's more of them. It's an epidemic. It's like it's a new genre. Of VTubers. And for some reason, they always have to look like they're a child. How does this make sense?
Guys, French people doxed me. They sent police at my house. Yes, they swatted me. And they harassed me at IRL conventions. All for this, for my edgy jokes, for being a lolly. All of a sudden, French people looked evil. And it doesn't take much to convince someone that French people are evil, okay? The French would argue, well, look, there's these videos on YouTube that expose her. Go watch those things instead. Okay, cool. Here's a video titled, The Worst French Streamer, Ririgaki, with over 448,000 views. Oh hey, here's another one, saying, The Worst French Streamer, Riri Meow, with over 245,000 views. I watched both of them in full.
Hero's brain going 100 miles an hour trying to keep up,
right now,
honestly. And I'm also like thinking about 50 different things apart from this video as well. So it's always a bit difficult to keep up with my own brain, not gonna lie.
This is what they said in a nutshell. Number 1, she's edgy and she made Nazi jokes, okay? And number 2, she's a lolly. In fact, most of these 2 videos were criticizing her for being a lolly, that she was playing this childlike character, how she was speaking with a childlike voice, and how she was overall just cringe. But here's the deal. For the English-speaking community, this only proved one thing. French people, when it came to VTubing, were completely and utterly out of their depth. VTubing originated from Japan, and this whole lolicon culture originated from there too. For people who actually watched VTubers, it was totally normal. It doesn't matter if you think lolicons are weird, right? I mean, I think it's a very
Hero's brain doing the anime overlord.
Is Ririgaki with
overload. What does that look like? Anime overload. Do I need to make that a new toggle? Anime overload. Oh my god, please don't be corn. Please don't be corn. Okay. I don't think this is what you mean. Anime thinking hard. This thing? I have that emote, I believe. Or is it here? Yeah.
with the word pedophile on top of it, you start losing a lot of people from your side. As time passed by, French people were seen as more and more unreasonable. This is not worth swatting over. This is not worth doxing over. You'd see pictures like this of a French person saying lolicon equals pedophile, with Ririgaki quote tweeting saying, "Don't cry, I'm just a drawing." The typical drama you'd find in English-speaking communities too, and typically VTuber watchers would always defend someone.
Difficult, like, discussion though. Is lolicon pedophilia, or is it just adult people looking like children? And how do you know they are adult people? It's difficult.
Like Riri, so they were totally out of their depth here. They'd keep trying to prove that she was problematic, showing her using GIFs saying "settle down, N-word hard R," and also showcasing how she had a role on her Discord called Rotten Waffen, a play on words on the Waffen SS, otherwise known as the Waffen Schutzstaffel, a division in the German army during World War II. Their efforts, again, proved ineffective, and the final straw would be when they would show this image of Riri when she was streaming with Facecam, apparently doing the, German salute from World War II. Well, you even had Asmongold reacting to it, and he concluded, as well as others, that she was simply adjusting her webcam. Guys, you're trying way too hard to make her look bad. Come on. This was seen as so crazy in the English-speaking community that even Elfin went out of her way to defend her as she was being cancelled by French people. By this point,
I'm mixed on it, but at the end of the day, I rather people like lolly over touching actual kids. Yeah, that is true. That is true. But yeah, it's a difficult discussion. It is. I don't like lolicon at all. I don't want anything to do that with anyone that looks like a child or is a child. Oof, no. But it's hard.
Ririgaki was followed directly by Asmongold on Twitter, and she had the entire English-speaking community backing her up. She was treated horribly by the French community, but now she got given a second chance straight from the heavens. However, here's the problem. I don't know if it was the language barrier or just the fact that she's probably mentally ill, but Ririgaki completely misunderstood what the second chance meant. She thought that she now could finally get away with anything. She could say anything, do anything.
Oh, so she went viral because of her cute rat. And then she was like, oh, damn. Now I am awesome. I'm famous. I can do whatever horrendous shit I want to do freely. Guys, can we just go watch some like videos of puppies instead? Like, oh. This is sad.
And she'd have a community here to back her up always. When in reality,
Let's
this wasn't
do
the case
that.
at all. What actually happened
This
was
is
that she got a
honestly
second
just starting
chance.
to become hella depressing. This is the third person he's going through in this video that is completely coconuts, and not in a good way.
Got in a community, and they were hoping that French people were exaggerating. They were hoping that she was going to genuinely redeem herself. And as you might have guessed,
surprise, she didn't. Wah.
this could not have been further from the truth. Shortly after getting this incredible second chance, she would increase the racist and edgy rhetoric by 1000%, all while adding that to a cancerous cocktail of politics. Some guy would say, French quote-unquote people, the fuck is wrong with your country, Jesus? To which Ririgaki would say, immigrant and African. Here's another tweet with a lot of views and a lot of likes.
My God.
Saw a Jew for the first time in my life yesterday. I always thought they were all extinct. Here's her comparing Nazis to trans people. I mean, with the only difference being the fact that one has impressive taste in clothing and the other one being promoted. French. Saw a Jew for the first time in my life.
Sometimes I'm starting to wonder if free speech is actually something that should be allowed.
Life yesterday, I always thought they were all extinct. Here's her comparing Nazis to trans people. I mean, with the only difference being the fact that one has impressive taste in clothing and the other one being promoted by the US government. She'd have a tweet saying, can I be called a white rat supremacist? I love white rat. And when Kanye West would say, I'm a you know what, she would quote tweet this with an image of an anime girl raising her hand. So as I said, she completely misunderstood the very simple thing she had to do. Just keep talking about your rats, woman. Just keep being cute. But no, she had over 130,000 followers at this point, and she was taking a page right out of Elfin Psyop's playbook. Probably the worst thing you can do. But hey, it seemed like they were getting along very nicely. Ririgaki would say, can you teach me how to be cute, please? And Elfin would reply with, but you're already so kawaii desu. It seemed like 100,000.
Ew, they joining forces. Oh no. Hide your wives, hide your kids, hide yourself.
Castrated men who followed Elfin just had another girl failure join the mix, and they were getting along. Not only did they increase their odds of maybe fixing another woman and marrying her too, but now maybe they could look forward to them collabing together, right? Oh my God,
They're multiplying.
Isn't that awesome?
I'm so scared.
Sure it would have been. But then some people decided to dig into Ririgaki's past when she used to be Riri Meow and produced.
This is gonna be horrendous. I already know it. Oi, oi, oi. Oi, oi, oi. Strap in, guys. Strap in.
Adult content. Now look, let's get one thing straight. Riri never produced any explicit content. It was mostly centered around thighs and feet. And while yes, this was enough for people to call her a whore and all sorts of things, this is simply who she used to be. And for the most part, I mean, people loved it. Oh my God, a girl failure and making stuff like this? It's like Elfin posting her tummy. What else do you want? But as these castrated guys were looking through her different images, they noticed something interesting, particularly in one image set of 3 images. You see, she'd have
It's always the feet, Ducky. The feet is important.
a photo set
For
where
some
she
reason.
wore non-matching thigh highs. Everything looked normal, right on this picture, on the other picture, until you got to the 3rd picture, in which we can very clearly see a black guy's hand grabbing her left thigh. Now look, normally this wouldn't be an issue. I would hope that it's never an issue. But saying that Ririgaki would tweet out every other day how France and Paris is getting ruined by immigrants, and more specifically Africans, her new, let's say, community wasn't too happy about this. In fact, they were furious. It seemed like no matter how much Ririgaki disliked
Is that
African
not just
immigrants,
10? I was actually thinking the same. I was like, hasn't he just been out in the sun? Because he's very, very like, what's it called? Pale up here. And that's usually where you like pull up your sweater or something up to the like here. I don't know.
she still couldn't resist the BBC. I mean, this is just so funny to me. It was treated like this leak, this thing
Filter
that
makes
no one
it
could have ever
wacky.
predicted, when in reality, on her own wiki page, you can see that in 2023, she made some guy called Euro, who happened to be a VTuber, her boyfriend. And when you checked out his model, his model was black. But no, it was a betrayal. How dare she? And she suffered the wrath of her own community. She had pretty much stabbed herself with a knife she forged herself. It was official. She was a grifter. Someone who didn't believe in anything she was saying.
This
and was
is
only
so
doing it
weird.
purely
This is so
for her own
weird.
benefit. Someone would say, if you can't see the grift in tweeting racist shit, then race mixing all while hating immigrants, then I don't know what to tell you. To which she would say, bro thinks all French people are all white like snow, lol, we have an island. Actually, the French have multiple islands, like Corsica, Guadeloupe, République, but this didn't matter at all.
I actually had a friend who lived at Corsica. Very pretty island, but I would never want to live there. Holy shish.
In the grand scheme of things. As she was getting attacked,
It's so like away from everything. And that kind of scares me.
pretty much daily at this
Hello,
point, with her
Atatoms.
own community turning against her, she
Zero is my favorite Oshi. Oshi. What does Oshi mean? You were my favorite Oshi too, guys.
would try to quell the flames by becoming even more edgy.
The thing with these people is that I don't understand the logic, which is probably my issue to begin with, that I think they can think logically. Are they all doing this for a bit to get attention, or is it what they actually believe in? Means you just gained a simp. Oh. Oshi is a VTuber term. Idol or something. Oh. I'm not an idol. I'm just a
And
bunfish.
saying, next cosplay I'm doing, Lolly Hitler. This would prove to be nothing more than a pathetic attempt at recovering the community that was turning on her, because very shortly afterwards, she would get suspended from Twitter by mass reporters who just so happened to be people who were pissed that she was dating a black guy. And the cherry on top would be her also getting suspended from Twitch. In her own Discord, she'd say, hi, I got banned from Twitter and Twitch again because of a big campaign of harassment and cancel culture. I did a tweet on my alt account if you want to RT, I don't know what. I'm tired. I really hope to die. Here we go with the baiting again.
Oh my
know, I don't
god.
want to let my
Oh
haters
my
win,
god.
but I'm
Can these people stop saying they're gonna jump from a cliff in Minecraft? Because Jesus Christus. You can't always use that. That's why these ones are called grifters. They say shit but don't believe it at all. We could also be just Cloud Goblin. Yeah, that's like, I understand what grifter means, but it's like, what's the point? I don't understand. I feel like it must be like trying to get, I don't know, a fan base or fame quickly or something. Or is she actually a racist person? Like, or is she everything at once? Oh my god. Imagine.
Really too tired. 4 years of all this is too much. You can follow my new account if you want, linking her Clips account and saying, I don't know if I'll be back one day, I'm really tired. She would then post a statement on that account saying, if you didn't see it, my main account was mass reported from Twitter haters because some of them believe that
Twitter
I'm a Nazi
haters.
and the others are mad that I'm not racist. I love it. Seeing people this mad and obsessed by a little rat girl proves to me that I'm really the only person here. You are part of the problem if you think that everybody I don't like is Hitler, being racist is good, or VTuber shouldn't have a boyfriend. I'm going to take a little break from Twitter while waiting for my appeal to be accepted. Thank you all for the support. I love you a lot. I have an incredible
I
community.
think this person shouldn't be on any platform.
Of kind people who support
That's
me.
all I'm
I'm never
saying.
going to kneel down in front of horrible humans, and I'm never going to let them cancel me. Cancel culture is dead and exists only for insecure people. I'm still going to stream on Twitch and YouTube and be active on Instagram and Discord. Your support means the world to me. Keep making extremist people pissed off and laugh at them. We are stronger than hate. And remember, vive la résistance. Rats live matter and are stronger than evil humans. Signed, Riri. So look, in the end, this was a desperate attempt at trying to recoup a community that hated her guts at this point. After getting that incredible second chance with a mega viral clip, she spent all that time nurturing a racist community, people who disliked immigrants and minorities, and it turned out she had a black boyfriend. Her
They
initial
can't
haters
accept
felt
they did something
vindicated, and
wrong.
her own community now turned on her. You couldn't really feel sorry for her, right? But throughout all this, her friend, Elfin, who was also another girl failure like her, and who had initially defended her when the French people were attacking her,
She's
what did she
gonna
have to
turn on
say by
her.
now? Would she show up for her, defend her, help her like a real friend would? Nope. She would also
course
turn on
not.
her because the girl failures would have a falling out that would make its way to the public battlefield. So as I said before, Elfin was someone who had defended Riri initially when she was getting the backlash after going mega viral. They would have some positive interactions here and there, but shortly after Average Bird Enjoyer's document would drop on Elfin, Riri Gaki would say, "Is this Gunpei 2.0? Someone would reply saying, "Please, rat girl, you're my last hope for a based petite girl failure indie VTuber. Don't e-date fans unless it's me, LMAO." God, I can puke in my fucking mouth. To which she would say, "I'm not gonna e-date a fan. I have a boyfriend and I'm just a pet rat for you." So this was essentially Riri Gaki trying to capitalize on the fact that Elfin was potentially going to lose her career because of this document. She was taking the moral high ground, trying to steal any viewers she can from Elfin because she was trying to become her. This is when Elfin would start to subtweet her, not calling her directly just yet, saying the amount of e-holes rebranding to be girl failures, please bro, you do poor.
Wait. She is tweeting this? This is coming from this person?
You sell literal porn of yourself. Just go be some slutty cat girl or something. This is of course referring to Riri Gaki, how in the past she had a fan.
My mind is I was gonna say blown, but it just isn't enough. It's not blown, it's rotting. Thanks to this, it's actually rotting.
And how now she rebranded as being a girl failure. When it came to her parasocial Discord though, she was way more straightforward. Someone would say Riri is nice though, to which she would reply, "I can't say this in good conscience when she blatantly called me Gunpei when my controversy happened. I can't forget that shit, lol." How dare she call me Gunpei when I'm way worse than her? Like, how dare she when I'm literally worse than her in every way? The main confrontation between these two girl failures would occur when Elfin would post this tweet, with her character saying, "Hey guys," someone saying "femcel," to which her character would say, "Not what I'm called." Shortly afterwards, Riri Gaki would also use that same exact meme format, saying "Hey guys," with someone saying "Not me," to which Riri would say "Not what I'm called." Elfin at this point would be furious. How dare she copy me? So she would quote tweet this and say, "You guys are all over her. How can she be a Nazi when she has a black boyfriend? Y'all need to do research." This was Elfin declaring war. She saw that her community was turning on her because she had a black boyfriend, so she was also looking to capitalize.
I mean, I rather these kind of people take out each other, right? I wouldn't want to touch them.
Elfin was about to fight a war on two fronts. She was going up against Riri Gaki, while at the same time having a demon from her past catch up to her, 4chan. You see, she was an active 4chan user ever since she was a young kid. Yes, I know, what a terrible fate. And 4chan would catch on to her.
I have to admit, I have never been on 4chan. Am I missing out?
they'd understand exactly who she used to be and would start revealing some details about her real identity. The fact that she is a Pakistani who's studying in the UK. Now look, this was a very big deal, okay? Elfin Psyop's entire personality was centered around appealing to the cringe white supremacist who never leaves his home. She would also heavily imply, as you saw in her belly pics that she shared online, she seemed white, and that's exactly what she was selling to her audience, the fact that she's white and even Slavic. At some point she would say, I say niet a lot, which means no, and people ask me if I'm Slavic on stream. I'm not, I'm just a huge Russia boo. So she posted pictures of her belly and she seemed white. She also was really into Russian culture, I guess, and Russian language. So people assumed she was maybe Eastern European.
I'm glad a lot of people here hasn't used 4chan either.
Some people would
I honestly have no idea what it's about.
Correct them. So seeing that she despised immigrants and any minorities for that matter, her being Pakistani.
Better rule, avoid drama. Yes, avoid drama. We just sit on the sidelines and watch it.
Would be a death sentence. But this rumor wasn't new. It was being shared on 4chan as early as mid-2024. It would start to really catch up to her and irritate her in 2025.
Poker in hand, hell yeah.
During the summer. This is when, for the first time, she would start being confronted live on stream by chatters who were asking her, are you really Pakistani? And she would get very triggered at that. Watch.
Pretending to be white? I don't think I need to pretend. I think I am.
Here's another clip.
Takis aren't white. You are so retarded, dude. That's actually insane. Do you realize how ethnicities work? Do you realize how ethnicities work? Or maybe you don't. Genuine question. Aren't you a Paki living in the UK? Who are you to complain? Did you get that from 4chan?
So here we are. She was starting to realize where these people were getting their information from. Wait, did you get this from 4chan? The website that she kept flexing that she had used ever since she was 13? Interesting. By early 2025, many pictures of Elfin's face would somehow find themselves on the internet. So she tweeted out in May 2025, I've been face doxed and harassed so much now, so here, this is me. Yup, now what? LMFAO, it don't even matter, man, no more. Now this image is actually very important. It would of course get deleted later. She would draw some clown makeup on her face in Microsoft Paint, right? I can tell you right now, this clown nose is doing a lot of heavy lifting because it would have very easily exposed her ethnicity.
Mujin, what did you just say? The clown nose is doing a lot of heavy lifting? What? That sounds like a burn.
Additionally, it doesn't take a genius to understand that this image is blown the fuck out. Look at that hand. It is blinding.
Yeah, this picture looks like you took the first selfie known to man on a phone with a camera.
Almost as if she completely upped the levels in Photoshop in an effort to appear white. Something would really crack in Elfin starting summer 2025, okay? This is when she would up the edginess to yet a new level. And so whenever someone criticized her or called her a Pakistani or said that they had proof, she would just call them a Jew. And it would work because her community hated Jews. This would work almost every single time. They'd eat it up. They would love it. And she would get away with it. However, as her rivalry with Ririgaki would
1950s smartphone quality, yes. Exactly. You read my mind.
start really heating up, Ririgaki would say this: I love how she was trying to cancel me saying I was dating an immigrant, black/Indian/Arabic boy, while pretending.
Oh my, look, just look at these people, guys. Don't be these people. Don't be this kind of person. Landline selfie. Yes, exactly.
To be white.
Oh my god.
Lol. To which Elfin would say, why are you so obsessed?
This is actually
now it's getting serious.
insane.
Look, Ririgaki, as much as she was hated for dating a black guy, she still held influence in the whole girl failure aesthetic club. She shared many followers in common with Elfin, this 100,000 bundle of castrated men, and so her saying what many have been saying already was a genuine threat. This drama started really heating up around November 2025, to which Ririgaki would say, please stop thinking of me as a girl failure, guys, it's exhausting. I did learn to take care of me. I go outside a lot now. I have a lot of passion and love for nature and cool subjects like aircraft or insects. I really like myself and take care of me. I did reduce my alcohol drinking to 0. I'm fucking proud to be alive and my depression is going away. Please understand that and stop seeing me as a 4chan weirdo or a girl who is mentally ill and drama post / talk about political toxic
Wasn't that
subjects.
exactly what you wanted people to think, though?
With skin color or not jokes. It makes me really sad. I'm getting better and becoming a cool person now that my life is comfy. Yes, I like edgy humor.
I'm getting better to become a cool person. Wait. I'm getting better and becoming a cool person. This can't be a sentence that anyone that's serious writes. All I'm saying.
About humans or minorities, but I'm a responsible adult, not a failure or anything else.
How old are these people? Are they 14? Must be.
Someone would reply with, "That's literally the audience you wanted and even commissioned yourself as a Nazi or girl failure, a loser. Did the elfin grift not work?" To which Riri would say, "Yeah, Nazi uniform are really pretty." It's like talking to a wall. This tweet was definitely very interesting and a bit out of touch. I mean, what have you been doing the past year? She's practically begging everyone to stop thinking of her as a girl failure when she only had herself to blame. She was the one who was intentionally acting that way. Elfin would quote tweet that tweet.
Most VTuber drama would make people think that. That is true. That is true.
OnlyFans catgirl VTuber starts following me, completely changes design to look like mine. Suddenly became an alcoholic, quote unquote. Starts copying my tweets.
Why are they doing this alcoholic thing that is like some kind of a badge that is worth exposing and being proud of? It's very, very odd.
Not an exaggeration, by the way. Okay, the tweets would be very, very similar. Before discovering Elfin, Riri literally had no idea what gooning meant. And there she was all of a sudden every couple of days tweeting, "Yeah, I need to goon. I need to go goon. I goon too much." This was literally Elfin's entire personality. And there she was emulating it perfectly.
Oh my days.
Elfin would continue.
Oh my
I'd DM
days.
her about it, say I'm uncomfortable about it. She says, "Oh my
the
God."
The girl failures are fighting.
Sorry, you're my biggest inspiration. We make
I would never marry a girl with drinking
drama.
problems.
When I get into drama,
I think that's a very healthy decision,
instead of
Silver.
DMing me and asking me what's up. So-called friend, am I right? I get pissed at this and stop talking to her. Copies me further. Almost all my jokes, all my edgy humor. Oh my God, guys, I'm so gross and gooner and girl failure and edgy, and posts not shit constantly. Where did all this suddenly come from, bro? A few months pass. Now she says, "Oh my God, I'm healthy. I don't drink anymore, and I go outside. I'm not a Nazi, guys." Basically, we should forget the past few months happened entirely. Literally attacks me out of nowhere, saying I accused her for having a black boyfriend. I don't care about your boyfriend's race, man. I don't care about you, dude. Can you leave me alone? And maybe
my
try to be
brain
more
is slowly
creative?
dying
You don't
from
get
this.
pity points because people attack you online. You literally did it to yourself. I'm edgy and I know people will dislike me for it. I've been like this since day one. You started being like this after following me.
God, can she please stop describing herself as edgy? Because no,
yourself and stop attacking people for no reason. Thanks. So look, Elfin was definitely making some good points here. Yes, it is true. Riri definitely started acting like her after following her. That's a fact. It seemed like Ririgaki's intent from the get-go was stealing as many viewers as she could from her, and when she saw that Elfin was potentially going to lose her career, she didn't try to defend her. She tried to make her move and call her Gunpei 2.0. However, it's not like Elfin wasn't doing the exact same thing. Look at this sentence near the end. I'm edgy and I know people will dislike me for it. I've been like this since
She's confusing
one.
edgy with
Again,
edging.
This whole idea that, guys, I'm real. I'm authentic. In fact, Elfin would go as far as saying on her
I still
stream
find
that
it
Ririgaki
extremely
was
hilarious.
a very rare example of a true
And concerning.
grifter. In her opinion,
That she
the
just
word is
started
overused.
like
Not everyone's a
masturbating
grifter, but
on
Riri
call
was. This
without
was her
a
implying,
warning
of course, that she was a real
with people.
girl failure. She was actually proudly alcoholic. Everything about her was
If it's real. She could also just have pretended for a bit, I guess. I don't know.
totally authentic. And hey, to be fair, it worked.
Oh,
After
hello,
Elfin would
Naru.
make her post
Welcome
about
in.
Riri, someone would confront Riri, asking her, "Yo, what's up? Like, what happened with Elfin?" Here's what she'd say in her
Perfect
Discord.
timing.
She tried a lot in the past to get me canceled on Twitter and can't stop talking about how I stole her identity because I have a similar humor / black hair / loves alcohol / depressed. Dude, imagine making that your entire personality. and
Yeah,
being
like,
mad
why
that
would you
someone
make
stole
that
it.
your
Dude,
entire
Who are
personality?
these people? Anyway, she would continue, "Cannot stand her. I did try to be her friend, but cannot stand girls sending me
Imagine the fact that Mujin actually have to like research these things. Like, I hope he's doing well. I hope his brain isn't rotting. All I'm saying.
To 6 persons at the same time while trying to proclaim that she doesn't have a boyfriend, is white, and is not a whore all the time because she doesn't want to lose her community. She is not honest, and she is just another gimmick like she says. Now, to be fair, even Riri had made good points here, right? But it's like, both of these people are so unlikable, you don't really care about taking sides, do you? However, even with all that
just let them avacadabra each other. The end.
being said, the next day, Riri would make yet another post.
Thank you, Mujin, for the
Her
food.
alt account, of course, because her main one got permanently suspended. Her appeal failed. She'd say, I would like to apologize for all the people following me because I was looking and acting like a based, edgy girl failure. I know the drastic change of me getting mentally better and stopping to act like a loser can be deceiving for a lot of you, and I understand if you stop following me, but I cannot keep going like that. Sorry for looking fake. I never lied about my depression or my daily difficulty like my alcohol consummation. I don't think she even bothered translating this, bro. Consommation, that's literally a French word, but yeah, her alcohol consumption. Secondly, I would like to apologize to @ElfinPsyop. I have her blocked because I don't want toxicity in my feed and don't appreciate her as a person, but I feel like it's still important to talk about that. I found Elfin's content when I was at my lowest after all the harassment from the French community, and instead of being a better person or learning to love myself, I ended up stealing and copying some of her gimmick, like she called it. This is not correct and not what a content creator should do. I did tweet like her and used to do the same.
This is what I mean. I have such a hard time believing that any of this is real because it truly just looks like some freaked up gimmick that they for some reason have think it's like cool or something. And it's
on Twitter as her to be accepted and seen by people having cool humor, things that do not exist in France, but I'm not proud of that, and I would like to have learned sooner that I should just be myself instead of wanting some attention on the internet while copying somebody's gimmick. I'm sorry, Elfin, for all of that, and for not talking gently about you publicly after having your help. I hope one day you have the chance to get better and go away from all the toxicity that Twitter and other social media are spreading. I understand that you see me as a LARPer or a grifter, but my political beliefs were never fake. I live in a dangerous country because of immigration and multiple other things. I just ended up basing my content only on that and edgy jokes to pander to these types of people when I'm in fact just a normal autistic woman who just want to share her hobbies. I'm not gonna lie, but I see myself as a LARPer. I also want to talk to you about the black boyfriend controversy. I know a lot of my past fans were following me because of all this LARPing. I understand your sadness when you learn about the VTuber that you considered as based having what you thought was a black immigrant boyfriend. I don't like saying that, but dating an immigrant or a black male is not something I would be able to do. I did date for 2 years in the past a brown/tan French male. This always was public since I was always streaming with him. Guys, don't worry.
Oh God, who
black,
cares?
He was just brown. Like, dude. After all this LARPing, I think this is normal and my own fault that I ended up in a situation where I get harassed by my old fan base.
Date whoever the frick you want.
For the based girl failure thing and not even to look after my content or stream since you did not know.
As long as it's legal, okay?
This makes me really sad that all this love was fake, but this is again my own fault for acting like that. I'm deeply thankful to all the rat bros believing in me and understanding my word. You are the reason why today I can be this better person. Thanks to all the people who still love me and not just my toxic past. I love you. So first off, I just want to point out how she was talking about this like it happened in the past. Bro, this literally happened like 2 months ago. You know?
Yeah.
There was barely any time.
Like I hope.
But hey.
This is like a wake-up call for her, and after this she does good things. I hope. But I don't have faith in it. Like, how could you ever take this person serious again? I couldn't.
Hey, you know what? A surprising amount of self-awareness in this post. She pretty much admitted she was a LARPer. That's because she was. She was a LARPer and she was a grifter. Pretty much the same thing. But of course, this post wouldn't.
Why would you LARP being a Nazi and a racist?
She would say, BRB going to my room to goon. But hey, it seems like some people stuck around for the rats.
Alcoholic.
Whatever.
I don't know.
Most people who followed her for being a girl failure already left anyway when they found out she had a black boyfriend. Elfin would yet again make another post after this one, this time saying, I don't own the girl failure aesthetic, okay? It didn't matter to me as much when Riri was outright copying my tweets, word for word, just twisted to look more French. That made me feel weird. Any joke I made or content idea was being copied. I felt like I couldn't do anything original anymore, and I care about novelty more than anything. Yes, we know that, Elfin. You're not like the other girls, right? To be fair, a lot of people
He's so special, guys.
Aren't exactly wrong.
He's the most special of specialness.
Until I found out how she talks about me behind my back. I genuinely tried, man. Anyone that knows me knows that I'm super mean usually, and she was kind back and said I was her biggest inspiration. I've dealt with mean girls all of my high school, man. I've had many bullies and fake friends. To me, this greatly resembled the fake friend trope. So I don't like this defamation if Elfin is so toxic. I only copied her because I'm autistic and just want to make content. I'm sorry if you go through stuff, but you're an adult actively making choices every day. You had the choice to just be friendly with me.
Yeah, that's the insane, guys. That's the insane part, guys. These people are adults. Actual full-grown people. Full-grown humans.
On being less depressed and getting rid of alcohol, and end this by saying, but please, if you truly were someone who understood what it's like to be someone who had a problem with
now she's autistic.
Stop shitting on me for being a girl failure alcoholic.
I bet she has all the things.
Trust me, I don't choose
all the things you could ever dream of.
So again, you know, I'm a victim,
she's
guys.
special.
I've been bullied all my life. You know, I'm a girl failure. I'm a real girl failure, okay? Stop pretending that you are real. Trust me, I don't choose to feel depressed all the time, okay? I'm authentic. But my favorite part is when she says, I'm sorry if you go through stuff, but you're an adult actively making choices every day. Because that's literally what people were telling Elfin when she got exposed as having been gooning to 6 guys at the same time. Look, overall, this was nothing more than 2 very disliked monkeys fighting. But if we step back and looked at the bigger picture, this situation would go from a clown show to something very alarming. As you saw, Elfin was practically invincible. Riri took heavy inspiration from her, seeing how much success she was finding as being a girl failure, and even though she had more followers and had way more virality, she still proceeded to copy her directly. Elfin was starting to become not just a danger to herself or to her fans, but to everyone in the VTubing community as a whole. Being a girl failure should never be something that's encouraged. It's not a good thing. It's not meant to be a good thing. And yet her success was encouraging others to follow her lead. I mean, why wouldn't they? If saying racist slurs wasn't going to get her canceled, if having a secret boyfriend wasn't going to get her canceled, if having 6 different guys you're gooning to at the same time wasn't going to get her canceled, then the $1 million question was, what will? Well, what would end up canceling Elfin Psyop, the person who had pretty much nurtured 100,000 castrated men who identified as white supremacists, would be the day that she was finally exposed as a Pakistani.
Well, of course.
So, as I had already mentioned,
that's what you get when you build a freaking fandom of being a freaking wannabe Nazi. And like, how did she think this would go well? Like, how? How? Guys, I need answers. Answer me now. This is so frustrating. Gosh darn it. Oh. Jesus Christ. I'm exhausted.
To take a turn during the summer of 2025. Her edginess wouldn't just be for the sake of being edgy anymore. She would take on a sort of political rhetoric that you would maybe find during a Nick Fuentes stream.
Mental instability.
Don't understand how you can live in this modern
I don't think that's an excuse.
Happening and not immediately connect the dots and see that it's Jewish influence. So now the Jews were responsible for everything. How about this tweet made a little while later saying, I love astronomy so much and I love stargazing, but I can't because there's too many immigrants in the UK and it scares me to go outside alone. As far as anyone was concerned, she wasn't even British. She wasn't from the UK, right? But there she was taking a political stance for a country that she doesn't even belong to. This tweet in particular will become way funnier later, and you'll get why. But it wasn't just political rhetoric that was taking hold of her edginess. It was her edginess itself that was taking a whole other level. For example, with her posting this image of her model saying, R word my model, then replying, sorry guys, I meant R word with an asterisk. The joke here is that she wasn't correcting herself, she actually meant it. She'd also make a conscious effort to play into the jokes and controversies that were made about her. Look at this tweet, for example.
Why would you say that?
Groomer that.
Why?
Come here, let me groom you. This was in reference to the Google Doc that was dropped about her, in which 6 men that were in their 20s said that she groomed them. At some point, she'd post a selfie that would get a lot of likes, of course, with her nose and mouth blurred because it would show her ethnicity, and had the caption, Elfin Brownop. This was her playing into the joke that some people were starting to call her Pakistani. So look, by now, it might be obvious what she's trying to do. She was being heavily criticized when it came to her actions by the wider VTuber community, and yet her own community also had criticisms relating to the fact
it's also
that
like
she might just be
next level sad that she plays so hard into being a white, a Nazi, so to say. And then she garnered this like community with people who are only white supremacists or whatever they're called. and then she isn't one herself. Isn't that like next level sad?
Funny. This was her attempting to play into the joke while also raising the bar for her edginess, hoping that it'll kind of insulate her from criticism. This desperate attempt of trying to move on from the fact that she might just be an immigrant and trying to move on from her controversies would result in some pretty embarrassing moments, like her public crash out during the summer of 2025 when she would begin by saying, "Not a big fan of Indians." Yeah. Someone would reply with, "Do not do this. You don't have to right-wing grift." This is probably someone who found her character and liked the design or just liked the belly pic. This is when she'd completely and totally crash out. Grift question mark? Someone would say, "You're so brave and definitely not a pick-me who tries too hard to look based." To which she would say, "Uh-oh, the big pick-me word. I'm so scared, please don't use it. Funny, when I voice my unfiltered opinions, I'll get random retards saying, 'Oh my god, pick me, oh my god, grifter.'" You realize when I say shit like that, I lose and filter more people rather than gain, right? I'd rather have people know what I think about shit than just follow me for cute tummy pics, expecting a wholesome person. Keck. Funny enough, my opinions have remained the same since I was 14 on major social issues. I think I'm pretty consistent with my mentality on things. It's so funny to me how she thought this was
she did not just write that.
No swagger would call her out and say, "So you have the same opinions as a 14-year-old? Wow." And then he'd get blocked. She couldn't handle it. She crashed out and she just couldn't handle it anymore. The crash outs and weird behavior wouldn't be constricted to just Twitter though. It would also happen in her Discord. She'd start saying things that were definitely out of place. I mean, they were fairly random, right? For someone who was maybe Slavic or American, saying things like, "Northern Pakistan is entirely Aryan. No one seems to understand that." Pretty suspicious thing to say when you're not Pakistani. All of a sudden, this was very different from the rhetoric she was taking about immigrants and Pakistanis in general when it came to the UK. She used to tweet things like, "If leftists think some girl on the internet is a pedophile for posting petite girls that look like her on the internet, then why do they promote immigration that bring in Muslim, pedophile, and racists? Curious." This is really funny when you consider the fact that some of the biggest Muslim immigrants to the UK are Pakistani.
No way she isn't rage baiting at this point. I don't believe anyone can be this stupid. That is what I mean. That's what I mean. Like, I can't wrap my head around this.
Like it was inevitable that she was going to be revealed as Pakistani. She started shifting the blame from Muslims to the Jews, saying things like, "Oh, the reason why all the Muslims are coming to Europe was because Jews want to destroy society." She'd also suspiciously start saying things like this: "I'm not gonna lie, Muslims got one thing right, and it's that pigs are filthy animals. No nutritional value and so much fat relative to beef and chicken, not even enough protein. Pork sucks in general. Bacon is good sometimes, but bacon in the UK is terrible." Oddly suspicious to say this. This isn't edgy or based.
Oh god, my brain, guys.
Guilty. And that's because she was. Look, eventually it was very hard to deny this. 4chan was after her ass, and they were revealing the fact that she used to be on 4chan when she was younger. There are threads dating back to as far as 2021 where they were referring to her as someone who was very attractive and was peak wife material. They'd be calling her their ideal crush, their ideal wife when she was a minor, mind you. And one of those people complimenting her would say, "Lives in Pakistan." Additionally, what didn't help was that her name was doxed, and it was painfully Arabic. Pakistan is a Muslim country that's heavily influenced by Muslim culture, so of course they have a lot of Arab names. At this point, it was simply undeniable no matter how much she wanted it to not be true. So around the end of December 2025, she would admit to her Discord, "Yes, I'm Pakistani, but I promise I'm only half Pakistani." People would start hating on her, and of course she'd do what she did best, suicide bait, saying, "Whatever dude, stop hating me because I'm a halfie, fuck, I'm gonna kill myself now." Someone would say, "I miss when I thought Elf was white. The hand reveal ruined everything." Then she would say, "Jesus, okay, leave then, asshole." She'd then say, guys, I'm only half Pakistani, okay? I'm half Slavic, I'm Ukrainian, please, there's some white in me." But then she would realize a very important realization, saying, "You guys hate me because I'm a halfie, I get it. Y'all don't even consider Slavs white either, so I'm double brown, I hate my life." Now you might be wondering, why is it that her community of white supremacists didn't consider Slavs white? Well, in these extremely edgy internet circles, they have a big problem with the fact that the Ukrainian president Zelensky is Jewish. They think he's some Jewish puppet and he's prolonging the war on purpose, right? That's their viewpoint. So to them, Ukrainians were Jewish. They were part of the problem. Someone would say, "And your dad's Ukrainian," in parentheses, Jewish, to which you would say, "He's not Jewish," in all caps. So now, she wasn't just seen as half Muslim, she was also seen as half Jewish, the two things that her community hated the most, and she made them that way. You have to understand, not everyone who found Elfin had that ideology. Some of them were totally innocent, found her through a belly picture, liked her, maybe fell in love with her because they're mentally ill, and then saw that she thought
because
this way
they're mentally ill.
and
Hey,
started sharing those same opinions.
I'm mentally ill
And now they were being
too.
backstabbed,
I would never fall
betrayed.
in love with this
How dare
person.
you be exactly what you've been hating on for so long? Some people would start saying, hey, maybe you're not Pakistani, maybe you're just Indian, to which you would say, I'm too cute to be Indian, please.
This is what I mean. She is the thing she's been hating on. Which is like ridiculous to even hate on to begin with, but now she has garnered just fans and a community that doesn't like, for some reason, skin color and wherever, depending on where you're from in the world. And now she's just freaked herself over. Like, this is the next level of dumb and sad that I can't even like.
Like, how dare you call it Pakistani?
I am speechless.
This would all keep building up until Christmas Day, the 25th of December 2025, when Elfin, in an extremely drunken state, would post a tweet that's barely legible, saying, I'm drunk enough to come out. I'm Pak, mom's side, and Ukrainian, dad's side. I'm a halfie. LMFAO, weird combo, right? I'm not Muslim and I hate Muslims. I love Christmas. I'm more Slavic than anything because I grew up Slavic. Slava Ukraina, Pakistan Zindabad. So look, just like with Ririgaki, right, with her black boyfriend, this normally should have never been a problem. If anything, this would have been something to celebrate. Like, oh, you come from very different cultures. Cool, that's awesome. Wow. The only person that made it a problem was her. And as you can see from the 186 replies, her community wasn't really too happy about this. The next step was her trying to appease her community. Look, she knew what they wanted. They wanted whatever was in between her legs. So she would desperately tweet things out like, Aryan man, please colonize me. Aryan man, please colonize the girl failure. Stinky bitch, Aryan man. I mean, at this point, it was just pathetic. The only feelings most people had when seeing this was pity. Like, come on, dude, what are you doing? Then on the 29th of December, she would tweet this out all of a sudden saying, I hate being who I am and I hate being like this. I can't do this anymore for a bit. I'm sorry. I don't know when I'll be back, but I'm fucking sorry I'm like this.
Get this freaking person off the internet and probably into like some therapist's office or something. Because I'm worried.
I hope you're all well and please don't miss someone like me. Goodbye for now. What would immediately follow after is her deactivating her Twitter account and disabling all invites to her Discord server. Now look, reactions were mixed to this, but as you might have guessed, the majority of the VTuber community was
my god. This picture. No.
Okay, Hitler was dead. This stain on VTubers' reputations, as well as her insufferable community, were finally gone. We won. On the other end of these celebrations,
the therapist will be needing a therapist.
Men saying things like, I hope Elfin Psyop comes back. Yeah,
no,
she's mentally
don't
ill
say
and likes
that.
to provoke people, but she's not so bad that she deserves to have something terrible happen to her. Or this guy saying, I really hope Elfin Psyop is okay.
I don't think her Twitter, her Twitch, her YouTube, or whatever platform being deleted is a bad thing. All I'm saying.
The racism towards her because of who she is unacceptable. And I genuinely hope she didn't.
But that's what she has garnered. She literally dug her own grave.
Herself. No one deserves to be treated like that. It's like, bro, are we talking about the same person here? That's literally what she did every single day. And to make matters worse, when she deactivated her account, this person would tweet this out saying, another VTuber that I spent thousands of dollars making merch for just deactivated her socials without any warning whatsoever and isn't responding to my messages. Yes, of course, this person was referring to Elfin Psyop, right? This post got a lot of attention and it showed how much of a wreck she really was. Look, overall, it wasn't just embarrassing to be Elfin at this point. It was also humiliating to be one of her fans. I mean, these guys were hopeless. They were like, yeah, I know she's half Indian, but look, she's half white. I know we're meant to hate Muslims and minorities, but please, just
oh my god, Naru, have you seen that tweet before?
I'll fix her, wife her up, and prolong the white race. Please, let's just make her an exception.
I love throwing rocks while I'm inside my glass house.
It wasn't a surprise. No one was ever interested in her for her political takes or her grift. It was all about her belly and the fact that she was a woman who was promiscuous. Politically speaking,
Who's
though,
it?
they gave themselves some hope that, hey, at least she's half
Yeah, I
white.
thought it was
but even
about someone
that
else.
illusion was about to
Oh.
be shattered. That's because 4chan would go above and beyond, as they always do, and would find irrefutable proof that she's not half Pakistani, she is full Pakistani. 4chan would go through her previous usernames on Steam. And before using Elfin Psyop in
Like,
2020,
this is such like, who gives a frick what freaking ethnicity you are? But thanks to her doing this to herself, it's suddenly such a big thing. And I'm like, gross.
she would be known as Absurd
It's
Comedy.
hella sad.
Well, would you look at that? There's an Osu account that was created back in September 2020 that had the same exact name, and also used the profile picture of a character that Elfin liked a lot, Megumin from Konosuba. It also had the flag of Pakistan on the profile. And this was a very big deal because this was region-based. Yes, it was based on your IP. This meant that as far back as 2020, Elfin was in Pakistan. She wasn't raised Slavic. She was raised in a country in which 99.99% of people are Muslim. And those Muslim immigrants going to the UK that she kept insulting every single day, well, she was literally one of them. I mean, seriously, the jokes just write themselves here. Like, how stupid is this? At this point, it was official. She was nothing more than a self-hating grifter. Many such cases, but not many with this many followers and that much of a community. But just as people thought that she was
And
finally defeated,
4chan
that she
claims
was gone
another.
forever,
Oh,
she would
no.
literally come back just a few days later. And while she was
Good
expecting
thing I've
a bunch
never
of
been on that
hugs
site,
and
I suppose.
kisses, she instead got the final blow to her short but very interesting career. So look, it was at this point that I started working on this video, but then I saw that she had tweeted on January 4th saying, "Hey, what's up, retards? I'm back. I went to a museum. I did a bunch of different things." She'd even post a selfie and a tank, the flag of Pakistan. Her post would get thousands of likes. Her community was so happy she was back. They were celebrating and saying, "Oh my God, I was worried about you. Oh my God, thank you so much for coming back. I missed you." So I was like, oh, I guess we're gonna pretend like nothing happened. Okay. She'd say all the speculation about
When
me
was
leaving
this?
for weird reasons was all wrong, lol. I left because I had personal
It
reasons.
was like not that long ago. It was this January. What the frick? What
This is
the
when I
frick?
figured, okay, dude, whatever. Like, who cares? I'm just going to work on something else. And look, I want to make one thing clear. If Elfin continued as she always had operated and didn't change a single thing, then she could have very easily kept her career and her community. Again, they didn't care about her political ideology, okay? They just wanted a chance to get in a Discord call with her and have her goon. But what she would do 2 days later on January 6th,
2 weeks
2026,
ago,
would be
Jesus
the dumbest
Christus.
thing I have ever seen anyone do on the internet ever, admitting to the distribution of child pornography. She'd make this tweet out of nowhere saying,
No. Oh. That's it. My brain is dead. This person has officially killed my freaking brain. Ay, 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 ay.
"Guys, I have a little announcement to make. So this may not come as much of a shock to some of you, but to most of the majority, I want to be truthful to all of you. When I first started VTubing, I was 17 years old. My hallmates living with me were older than me and would buy me all the alcohol. So I pretended to be a bit older online. I came to the UK to study a foundation year at 16, turning 17. They let you go early, especially if you have good grades. I'm 19 right now. The funniest part of all this is that I never told my age to anyone because I didn't want people to think it's weird someone underage is talking about stupid shit online. And the lie had gone for so long for me to tell the truth. But I'm a solid age now that I don't care. It's kind of why I suck at saying what age I learned what. Like, oh, I started going on 4chan when I was 14, but what I mean is like 11. I wanted to sound older somehow. I had to get a proper ID for 18 when I turned 18, and it was exhilarating buying my own beer. Ha 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 ha. Now here's the bombshell. Also, just thought to put this out there because all the images that my haters have been leaking are all technically CP, XD. Good luck. So yeah, what seemed like a post of her just being edgy as always, saying, "Hey, I've always been edgy. I've always been on 4chan. I've thought the same thing since I was 14," ended up being one of the dumbest admissions of guilt I've ever seen in my life. Yes, she's been on 4chan since she was a minor, and yes, since then, she's been promiscuous. She's been sending explicit images of herself. She's been sexting. She distributed illegal material, and she's out here talking about it like, "Oh, gotcha." Someone would, of course, point this out, replying, "You realize taking the pictures and uploading them is you transmitting/distributing illegal CP as well, right? Just because it's yourself doesn't remove that." This is when Elfin would say, "Yeah, I know, But that shit was ages ago, and I sent it to a few people at different time intervals. I didn't know they would leak it because they're awful people. I hope they suffer, smiley face. This is of course in reference to the many nudes you can find online of her, so that means a lot of websites are hosting CP at the moment, if she's to be believed. At this point, she was fair game, okay? And this is when Johnzilla would make this Twitter thread, saying, most people think Elfin Psyop privated because she crashed out over her white supremacist friends finding out that she isn't white. But in actuality, it was because it was found out she groomed and sent weird and inappropriate things to minors on her Discord server. The first—
Oh, it's just getting worse. I had no idea it could get worse. But I'm telling you, this is what I mean, that fiction has nothing on real life. Real life is just beyond horrifying. What?
example would be how she made a community member who was 16 draw a doujin, right? Like some sort of a adult comic of her and a VTuber she looked up to. He would post it in her Discord and she would say, "Holy fucking shit, dude. Oh my god." She was very excited over it. She'd also send him some very explicit messages. Like, for example, he'd make artwork of her holding a gun on her stomach, and she'd say, "I love the weight of the gun on my stomach. It makes me very horny." And finally, there would be this screenshot in which she says, "When I grow up, I'm going to be like Masato."
It was just self-destruction, and it all happened so fast. Oh my god, you saw this live, Naru? Oh, scary.
And groom, blah, blah, blah. And there'd even be a message with her saying, "Pedophile bros, rise up." So now her community had to wrestle with the fact that not only was she not a virgin, not only was she not white, but she was also someone who was
of course she isn't a virgin, like Jesus Christ. Did someone actually believe that?
What Johnzilla had posted was part of a wider expose that fully sought to expose Elfin and ruin her career that was posted on 4chan. In it, we can see even more images, like how, for example, she would let this minor into an NSFW 18 plus channel knowing that he's a minor. She doesn't care. Why would she? But look, I know at this point you're thinking she's completely irredeemable. No way she still has fans, right? Well, there's a reason I refer to her fans throughout this whole video as castrated men. They're not castrated like literally, like physically. They're castrated mentally.
Why is it advanced? Is she actually sponsored by them?
In the sense that they stand for nothing. Their life is meaningless in the sense that they're willing to throw anything away just for a chance at having a gooner girlfriend. Someone would reply to Johnzilla's thread saying, "What the fuck? Based? Me next," in all caps. So guys, I don't care. She could murder someone. She could, I don't know, carpet bomb an entire family neighborhood. I don't care. I don't care. Please, just get in a call with me and goon. Please. I've never had a woman touch me. Please. The secondhand embarrassment would continue for Elfin though. She would post an AI-generated clip of Brody Fox, a content creator, with him saying slurs that he never said because it's AI. It would perform abysmally, and he would reply to her saying, "Why did you groom minors and distributed CP?" linking Johnzilla's thread, out-ratioing her by 5 times. Yeah, at this point it was obvious. Elfin was becoming a lolcow. In fact, she had already become one by the time she deactivated the first time in December. Seeing how much the pressure was mounting and how many of her close friends or community members were telling her, "You're a dumbass for admitting this, you have to do something to contain this disaster," she would make this tweet in a desperate attempt to calm people down, saying, "I lied. I lied about my age and being younger at the time because there's images of me on the..."
Oh my god. It's truly like the boy who cried wolf, right? Jesus.
Internet that I sent to people I trusted. Never full nudity, and they use AI to make revenge porn of it. They actively post it on all spaces I'm in, trying to get back at me for rejecting them. How do you counter that? How do you even stop it? So yeah, I lied to scare them. Yeah, right. And I'm French. What are we doing? Lying now? No one believed that, especially with the proof that she so readily invited a 16-year-old into an NSFW channel on her Discord. It was over, and even Elfin had enough self-awareness to understand that. This is why shortly afterwards, a day later, on January 7th, 2026, she would yet again deactivate her Twitter, but this time wipe her YouTube channel and pretty much delete all socials. And the final thing she'd do is post an announcement on Discord, pretty much announcing her graduation and how she was ceasing all activities for good now. Here's what she had to say. "Hey, thank you for always being by my side. When I first started streaming, it was crazy to me to have so many people like me so much and want to talk to me. It felt exhilarating to have friends and a community. All the art I got, all the friendships I made, the 10-hour Among Us sessions, it was incredible. Probably the best time I've ever had in my life. I wouldn't trade this time for the world. It meant everything to me, and you guys meant everything to me. I like to..."
Well, if that meant everything, that you could just sit and play Among Us with your community, why just not stay there and not post all the freaking shite you did? Just play Among Us with your community. The end.
Thank you all for being amazing agents. That's what she called her community. For believing in me, even though I've always been a massive loser. For always sticking by my side, buying my merch.
Oh no, not a massive loser.
I wish I could give you more than this. I wish I could be more than what I am for you guys. And I'm so sorry for disappointing you like I do every time. But I just wanted to say I really love you guys. Despite all the controversies and dramas we've been through, it's been way too fun to want to forget all of this. I guess the Elfin saga had to end on a weird bittersweet note like this. Fucking chaotic. It definitely wasn't meant to last. I never believed in myself that much. Too much shit has happened, and I'm too small of a person to be able to handle it alone. I've lost. It doesn't matter anymore. Please don't be sad when I'm gone. You can always look back on memories. So corny. I'll be graduating for good. I wish I could have a stream rather than this Discord announcement, but this is the best I can bring myself to do.
Hello, Reckless. Hello, Reckless. Welcome in. Well, currently, I feel a bit sorry for my brain.
It was really nice while it lasted. Heart emoji. And so this was it. This time it was actually official. It wasn't like the other time she deactivated and just came back a few days later. No, this was it. Elfin Psyop would be no more. And
Thank
as
the
you
Lord.
guessed, people celebrated again. But her community was gutted. And shortly afterwards, she would completely delete her Discord. Elfin Psyop is a real one. I'm gonna miss my homie. I'm broken right now. She'll be with us always, in one form or another. Plenty more Indian women out there. Just go to India and bring one home. Dude, look at this tweet. Just look. Oh my God. When I die, Elfin will still be on my mind. I couldn't forget these past couple of years if I tried. Castrated beyond belief. You see, when people make fun of the male loneliness epidemic, don't show them statistics, okay? Don't make them think that it's just some guy who's sad that he's single. Show them these people mourning as if they lost a family member, when in fact it was just some grifter who was a Pakistani woman that pretended she was white. It is so pathetic, man. Okay, this is probably my favorite tweet. Okay, this is... Your Paki brothers will miss you, Elfin Pakistan. There was a lot of funny memes.
Oh no.
Gets called brown once, fucking dies. Look at this guy. I wake up with the New Year's hangover, and one of the first things I learn is that Elfin is brown. First off, the fuck that I missed. Second off, is there a single one of you motherfuckers that's actually white? And just like that, the legendary meteoric rise of Elfin would end as quickly as it had started. Not with a bang, not with a whisper, but in a flaming hot pile of shitty diarrhea. But hey, as far as I know,
Well, she got the pathetic part right, because I think this was the most saddest, most pathetic thing I ever watched in a long, long time. So kudos.
artists that had been ghosted by Elfin worked things out, and now you have an attorney involved. Meanwhile, Riri is still crying over the fact that she grifted, tried to be Elfin, and now her entire career is ruined. Hey man, all I gotta say is you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
At least she has her rats, right?
But before I end the video, I do want to point out something that's very, very interesting. There's a conspiracy theory going around right now that the reason why Elfin left and deleted all socials is because she's being pursued by UK tax authorities. You see, when you would donate to her PayPal link, it would show an email. It would say payment to blank blank at hotmail.com. And this was clearly not her name. This was a man's name. This was her boyfriend that she had while she cheated on him with 6 other guys. However, you have to remember, Elfin was in the UK under a student visa, which doesn't allow her to work or earn any income. It seemed like she was funneling all her earnings to her boyfriend. So the theory is that maybe she broke up with her.
Yeah, Reckless, I can't even sum this up in one sentence because it's so freaking bonkers. You're just gonna have to watch it. You're just gonna have to watch it from the beginning. And honestly, I'm already sorry for that.
Boyfriend, and he found out that she cheated on him with 6 guys and she was doing all this dumb shit on the internet. So now he's getting the tax authorities after her so he can reclaim the money that she took from him while also getting her kicked out of the country. Definitely an interesting theory, but I do think it might be a bit of a reach. I guess only time will tell. I personally think that Elfin will try to pull a Gunpei because she's practically Gunpei but 10 times worse. Eventually she might recreate a new persona, a new character, and try to come back into streaming slowly.
It wouldn't
Will she
surprise
carefully
me.
disguise herself? No, people will recognize her, but her community will be very happy that she's back because as you can see, there's a void in their hearts that still hasn't been filled, guys. I've made so many videos, you know, throughout this career. Some of them involve disturbing topics, but I've never been so disturbed as I have been while researching for this video. I'm sure
God
you
bless.
also lost hope in humanity multiple times. as you were
Freaking
watching this.
bless.
So hey, you're welcome. And
I
hope you
bless
enjoyed.
you
Thank
with
so much
my
for watching until the
magical
end. As a reminder, make sure to check out my
pond
stack
water.
page, okay? It's going to be filled to the brim with content. I'm going to be very active there. You'll find the link in the description and the pinned comment. Thank you so much again. I love you so much platonically, and I'll see you in the next video whenever that is.
I have been influenced,
Mwah.
guys. Should I get the stacked page as well? Honestly, have no idea what it is, but it sounds cool, okay? I'm easy to influence. This was something. Yeah. Yeah. I have no idea what else I was supposed to say to this. This was awful. It was an amazing video, but the content it was about was awful. Actually, beyond awful. Holy. Ay. I need a break now, guys. I need such a break. My poor brain. Your guys' brain. How are you feeling? Oh my days. Oh my days. Thank you, Mujin, for that video. Jesus.